Blake Lively used her trainer's birthday as a way to once again shame Justin Baldoni. Well, I want to use it as a way to shame Ryan Reynolds. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Happy birthday to Don Saldino. Kim, let's celebrate. Happy birthday, Don. It's his birthday. Don's the workout guy. It's his birthday. And Blake's so grateful because Don is one of the best guys she's ever met, judging by this Instagram post. She is just so infatuated with Don, so infatuated that if I were Ryan, I'd be a little worried, to be honest. But anyway, he's a man built of integrity and kindness. She heaps the praise on this man. Here's the post. I prefer curls in my hair when I'm in high heels. Happy birthday to a man built of integrity, generosity, grit, kindness, abundance, and the type of care you usually are only lucky enough to feel from a family member. Love you, Don Saldino. Thank you for making me feel my best in every stage of life. Pregnancy, postpartum, training for stunts, or just motivating me to keep going no matter what I feel capable of doing or not. You're always there making it feel possible and fun. You make everyone feel great in their skin, not less than. I adore and appreciate you every day, Don. Wow. What? Now, everyone online is obviously taking this one way, Kim, and they're taking it in the way that this feels like shade towards Justin Baldoni. I feel like everything here she's alluding to is clearly not a word she'd use to describe Justin, but specifically this ending, you make everyone feel great in their life, not less than. Because, Justin made Blake feel so much less in her skin with all that fat shaming, right, Kim? Look, I want to use this as a point to revisit some key timeline points in this whole thing, because as we get closer to trial, if it goes to trial, there's some stuff we need to know. But Kim, before we go there, I just want your initial reaction to this. This feels so oversold, trying so hard, throwing this Don guy a bone who threw Justin so under the bus, it's not even funny, and started this whole thing. What is your reaction when you genuinely see Miss Lively here compliment her trainer so much?
It does to me. I understand why a lot of people feel that this is shade at Justin Baldoni. It does come across that way. Although I'm sure she does mean some of what she's saying. She clearly does trust him, trust Don, and I'm sure they have a lovely relationship. But this whole situation for me, I look at it now in a different light based on what Judge Lyman has ruled. And I do think it's interesting because this incident of the fat shaming was one of the first things that the public was really alerted of there being difficulty behind the scenes of It Ends With Us. And it was in that TMZ article. And, it was the fat shaming and the kissing lingered too long, etc. And now, because of the MSJ ruling, we can see Judge Lyman has basically said, it's not harassment. What happened with this whole fat shaming debacle was not harassment. And that when you are in acting situations and creative situations, you need to be able to have the freedom to be able to experiment and do things. So he didn't feel, that Justin improvising some of these things was harassment either. So it's like when you have this one incident with this fat shaming that seemed to really spark and set off just a complete dumpster fire of a production, and then to see it be basically dismissed and discredited by the judge. And now we're here and Blake is saying happy birthday to Dawn, when I will say I have seen, I believe he may have written this in his statement. A lot of people have harassed him and his family, which is not cool. I don't support that. Leave him alone. Don't do that stuff. But it's just interesting now that it's like she's bringing him back up, and I'm sure that is going to have a domino effect, or I hope it doesn't. But, some people are very upset with him, and it sucks. It sucks. It feels like a very pointed message at this stage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, as you go back and we revisit a lot of this, there's a lot, and it's weird for some reason that we don't know if it's Blake doing it, but some suspect it might be, are actually pulling this off Reddit and things. So that's why I've put together our parody version of our own version. This is not their photo, and the other one was fair use. But I put Ryan in here in his freak out because I want to go through the timeline, Kim, as we revisit all of this to sort of just revisit what actually happened. So here's the text. We're now April 24th. 10:44 p.m. I actually had my director co-star call my trainer today to ask what I'll weigh in 2 weeks when we shoot, because he's worried about his back and bone density and wants to be sure he's okay to lift me up for our sex scenes. I've committed to eating only bagels from now. Also, he's an actual donkey. I'm ranting about strangers. What? Oh my God. I don't know who Lewis is, but what the F? Who's the S for this director? Who the F's your co-star? How is this okay? How are these two allowed to be in the same room? Are you not serious? Oh my God. Talk about a sycophant, just butt kisser. This Lewis person just not asking any other specific questions because that's how Blake framed it. But still, it's interesting. She framed it as, yeah, he asked my trainer what I'm going to weigh in soon because he has back problems and wants to do it. But she's mocking him. Bone density problems. How dare he? And it wasn't about their sex scene. She may have misunderstood that, but he was genuinely asking for a lift up scene that's in the script. So then, Mark, what Justin wrote in their thing, on April 25th, the next day, Lively summoned Baldoni to her penthouse, purportedly to discuss the script. However, he was met by an angry Reynolds who screamed at Baldoni and accused him of fat shaming his wife. How dare you effing ask about my wife's weight? What's wrong with you? The confrontation by Reynolds and Lively was so aggressive that Baldoni felt he had no choice but to offer repeated and completely unwarranted apologies for what was a good faith and reasonable question to ask of his trainer. Reynolds demanded Baldoni remove the scene entirely. Lively refused to perform the lift scene in the end, even after it was rehearsed with a stunt double. In her own complaint, Lively flat out lies about the absence of the scene by claiming the scene wasn't in the film. The only reason the scene wasn't in the film is because Lively and Reynolds ensured it was taken out of the film. Accommodating Lively, Baldoni rewrote the scene with Lively, despite the fact that creative reasons this scene was important to him as a storyteller and a director. Now that's what they say happened. Here's Blake Lively's text the next day after all that went down. I'm feeling rage at a stranger. Shouldn't feel good, but damn it did. He's now a stranger. It was strangely healing. Feeling rage at a stranger. It was strangely healing. He's a bag of hot gas, but he still made me feel bad and very upset, even though I know he's a clown. It still hurts. So thank you for circling your wagons around me. I'll send you his Instagram. He's so cringe. He got the rights to this massive book. He's cast himself and star and direct. I chose to bet on him. Also, I own a huge piece of the movie, so I'm having to bet on myself. But yikes, that gave me a crisis of confidence. I had a 3-hour meeting with him today. He got it loud and clear, but still, being a woman in this industry, for your cringe pleasure. And then she sends a reel of Justin's from his Instagram so they can both mock him. Oh my God, I cannot watch. He's a liar and a fake and full of, how does this person know? You will be the reason this film gets made and works, not him. Please to God, gloat to me later. Okay, so that's so well. It's a movie, not a soundbite. You're the reason this film gets made, not him. This is all just so hard to read. He had a bit of that meltdown today when I told him, I need nothing from you on this film as an actor or director. I'm good. I've got me. I only need one thing from you, not to make me feel like shit. I don't even need you to make me feel confident. I've got that. I only need the bare minimum for you. Just don't make me feel like shit. That's your only job. I've got the rest. He audibly sobbed. It was the performance of a lifetime. Original movie. I wish I'd been in the room. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, as I read all this, just disgustingness from Ryan's rage, from Lively's rage, I just see two really disgusting bullies. Because when I read this, Kim, and I want your thoughts, he audibly sobbed. I was saying it earlier. I genuinely wonder, was that sincere? Did he actually have emotion and remorse in making her feel like she was being fat shamed when he didn't mean that at all? That he legitimately was asking whether it was unfair or not. I don't think it was, but whether it was, like, why not just say that's inappropriate? Why not only call him out and scream at him, belittle him, overpower him, but then go behind his back to mock him like this? He wasn't doing that about you. His texts don't prove him going, oh my God, Blake Lively's such a fat cow, blah, blah, blah. No, he's like very respectful and worried. And as we see his text behind the scenes, it's nothing like this mocking, bullying, mean girl, dare I say it, mean girl behavior with sycophants who are, is this Lewis person an employee of hers? Getting some sort of something by being friends with Blake Lively? This doesn't seem like any sort of real life, Kim. And it seems mean-spirited and awful and controlling. And so when I see he audibly sobbed and she's sort of enjoying this, like, it's sickening to me. What if he was actually hurt himself? Apparently Blake's, feelings are more important. So that's why they yelled and belittled him. But do you see what I'm coming from, Kim? What is your reaction when you read all these freakouts from both Ryan and Blake?
I think the part of this text message chain specifically that I kind of gravitate towards in my thinking is when he audibly sobbed. Um, to what she said to him and those quotes. So I don't know if you can go up a little bit because it's cut off a little bit for me. But
I need nothing from you. Yeah.
I need nothing from you on this film as an actor or director. I'm good. I've got me. I only need one thing from you, not to make me feel like, and I don't even need you to make me feel confident. I've got that. I only need the bare minimum from you. That's your only job. I've got the rest. That is ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous because they're saying the only reason the movie's getting made is because of you. No, the movie's getting made because Justin secured the rights. This is his film studio. He is directing the film, and he is starring in the film in part because of what Colleen suggested. Colleen Hoover, the author of the book. So Justin's role in this is big and it does matter. But clearly from the very beginning at this point to Blake, he didn't. And I think this really shows how toxic this relationship became before shooting even started.
Yeah, well, it's just wild too, because this is all good as we revisit to go back as we're putting together the timeline in our own doc, but like all her complaints were stuff that happened on set. So this is before shooting, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Before shooting, she's made in her mind to belittle him, scream at him, call him a donkey, call him an idiot, like all this stuff before they've even gone to shooting. And it's just wild because, then most of the complaints on that document are all about stuff later, called me sexy and did all this dumb stuff that happened later on set. But it's so clear from day one, she was trying to take control and make him feel lesser and remove, exactly like you said, what he did for this movie. Because I think that was the other one. He got the rights to this massive book. It's up here, I guess. He got rights to this massive book. How lucky he is, right? That he got it. And here it is. He got the rights to this massive book and he cast himself. No, the author suggested him. That's what's so frustrating. She's making such negative, mean girl, bullying assumptions that how does she have any credibility left? If this all gets read in the order, if they do it properly, act it out, if you will, I don't see how any jury or anybody looking at it all in the order could feel bad for her and not him. I'm sorry. I don't get it. So I wanted to revisit this as they're out there trying to stick it in Justin's face of how good Don was. Don, the scumbag who took this to Blake and Ryan to allow them to have the ammo to destroy Justin. To me, just so absurd. He went to you, not her. If he wanted to bully and fat shame Blake, he would have asked her, what do you weigh? And still, Kim, there's so many texts where Blake's talking about how important it is to be an athlete. This is an athletic event. I mean, this has got to be second. I'm working on it. We know this is part of the job. I love it. And then even Justin, like, don't worry about it. You're going to be great. Don't do that. You look beautiful. What the hell is going on here? The way they've gaslit everybody and the way their little minion, Don, joined in there. And now clearly Don's getting a lot of backlash. Honestly, criticism, some of it is valid, Don. You that was scummy what you did. You didn't need to make it such a big deal and upset your client. Just keep it to yourself. Unless Justin was like, yo, what's that fat ass gonna weigh on the day? Then fine, right? I can see maybe that's inappropriate enough to go tell. Did you know he's calling you a fat ass and all this stuff? Like, what the hell, Don? Why do you got to assume this guy's the bad guy? Were you a spy? Were you sent in there to get ammo that they could use against him to take control? Is that what you all do? These are the real questions I think need to be asked. That's what we ask here on Popcorn Planet. We did a lot more in the live. We also just had fun talking about a bunch of random stuff. So become a member over at popcornplanet.com. Make sure you subscribe here, hit the bells, all the alerts, leave your comments, help the engagement. Go support It's Kim over on her channel as well as Lewis at Nerd Report. He joined us live. I appreciate all you guys. We got a lot more coming. The documentary is coming. We are mad dash, and if we seem tired or out of it, that's probably why, because there's a lot to do. But stay tuned because we got a lot more coming your way still here on Popcorn Planet.